Good evening, Mr. Saiju. Are you there?
Good evening. Good evening to all the.
Good evening, sir.
How are you, sir?
Yeah, we will start. Well, your team is ready, right?
Right. Hello.
Okay. So I will hand over to Mr. Arun Mohan to kickstart.
All right, sir.
Please.
Good evening to all the exuberant educators of Bharat Sahodaya. Today we are going to have the 156th web training series of our Bharat Sahodaya. So now my job is to welcome our moderator of this day. Not naming it, let it be a surprise.
Allow me to introduce myself. I am Jarvis, the virtual artificial intelligence. And I'm here to assist you with a variety of tasks as best I can. 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. I have started working with CBSE Bharat Sahodaya since 2020. I'm really very thankful to Dr. Abdul Salam sir for helping me to improve. Just a rather very intelligent system, who made BTAG technologically advanced and user-friendly for all, do hereby pledge to you my undying fidelity. And I'm very glad to have myself as the moderator of this 156th web training series of CBSE Bharat Sahodaya, so it's time for action. Importing all preferences from home interface. Dear educators, thank you for the overwhelming cooperation and support given to our mission of teacher empowerment. The NEP 2020 emphasizes the use of data analytics for improving learning outcomes, enhancing quality assurance, ensuring equity and inclusion, fostering innovation and research, and strengthening governance and leadership in education. Let's take a look at how data analytics help intervention and for assessing progress and attainment in schools in line with the NEP. To take further proceedings, let me invite our Program Director Dr. Abdul Salam sir. He is presently working as the Assessor of National Accreditation Board for Education and Training, Government of India. Dr. Salam has also rendered his services in the capacity of the Principal of the Oxford School, Trivandrum. He is the CBSE Resource Person, Master Trainer, CBSE Deputy Training Coordinator of Trivandrum Region and Patron of Bharat Sahodaya. Dr. Salam is the founder and CEO of BTAG, that is, Bharat Transformers Academic Group, a consortium of educators and the teaching fraternity across the globe, connecting them together to empower the nation. Sir, it is indeed our pleasure to have your gracious presence, and I would request you to take over and deliver the welcome address. Please, sir, over to you.
Salam sir, warm welcome.
Thank you.
Stage is yours.
Fantastic, performance by Jarvis and his master. Kudos to you both.
Always.
Hearty welcome to each and everyone. Respected resource person, Dr. Saiju Aravind and his team. Mr. Hemant is there, Mr. Thanu Kishore, both are there with the entire, educators who have joined to listen to how data analytics is going to help in the assessment of students' performance at school level. Well, we have been looking forward to this session, post the session of neuroscience, which we had a very wonderful session by Saiju sir. During the conclave took place in Trivandrum in December 2022, and further to that, we have had already, also had a session online of the same neuroscience wherein we understood that. I still remember Dr. Saiju saying that teachers are like doctors, right, sir?
Yes.
And when doctors, they examine the patient, uh, they are able to diagnose and tell the disease, the sickness, the illness accurately, where the problem is, what the problem is. So, in fact, teachers also should be in such a position to diagnose children and tell the parent. The parent does not want to know whether the child is weak in maths or science. The parent wants to know where the child, what is wrong with the child, in which area the child is weak, and what can be done. So this is where data analysis is, helping us. Especially 21st century schools, they should be dealing with the data science, which is, which we had a discussion with Dr. Saiju. We, came to a conclusion that data science is being used, but since it is a larger topic, we will deal with the data analytics. So data analytics is going to help, intervene and make assessments in the student performance. So I'm equally eager to listen to Dr. Saiju, and let's lend our ears to him. He is already, helping a lot of schools with his venture EduBrisk, which is doing a wonderful job with the data analytics. And he is the governor body member of many schools in UAE and in India. And also, I think we should welcome him to our schools and give us, what his data analytics and his, measures can help us. I'm pretty sure that lots of schools have benefited from his endeavor because he is a very senior scientist and have researched in neuroscience in education, and definitely we will be benefiting a lot from his, rendering. So thank you so much, sir. Your team, we are looking forward to you, and over to Jarvis again. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much for your kind words, sir. Now is it time for us to invite our resource person of the day. So let's not wait any further. Here I welcome Mr. Shaiju Aravind. Shaiju Aravind, sir, is the founder and chief mentor of EduBrisk Knowledge Solutions, an AI/ML-based digital learning process-oriented platform. EduBrisk is based on the principles of BUILD, a synergistic blend of neuroscience, data science applied in pedagogy, creating an accelerated teaching learning ecosystem. The platform has gained popularity in India and the Middle East over the last few years, empowering over 1 lakh students and 12,000 teachers in K-12 segment. Shaiju sir is a postgraduate from IIT Delhi. He worked as a senior scientist at the Defence Research and Development Organisation, DRDO, Government of India, after serving as commander in the Indian Navy. He is currently a member of the Institute of Defence Scientists and Technologists, IDST. He is a recipient of several awards like the Commodore Golg Silver Medal at IIT Delhi, Chukral Memorial Award, Chief of Naval Staff Commendation, etc. Shaiju sir has also taught hydrodynamics and related subjects to BTech and MTech students of QSAT and Andhra University. He has also guided several MTech theses in the field of naval architecture and hydrodynamics. His contributions to science and technology are available in the form of over 15 international papers in science and technology. Mr. Shaiju's relentless quest to make quality learning easy and affordable has garnered notice and appreciation from various parts of the world. As an educationist, Mr. Shaiju has been an invited speaker at National Institute of Advanced Studies, Bangalore. Mr. Shaiju's efforts have won him several awards like the Tycon Kerala chapter's prestigious Startup Entrepreneur of the Year 2018 award and Entrepreneur India's Education Innovation Award. He is currently working on a mission to empower 1 million underprivileged students with state-of-art technology, and through accelerated teaching learning ecosystem. And as per my research and analysis, he is the only father in the world who collected data and researched for teaching his son. So I welcome you once again to this auspicious occasion. Please sir, over to you.
Warm welcome, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. I like the last part, the father who collected data for teaching.
The only father in the world.
That is Jarvis analysis. Huh? Thank you. So, what is the next? Abdul Salam sir, should I start or how is it, Mr. Arun?
Yes, yes, sir. Over to you. Totally over to you. It's your stage now.
Okay, thank you. So, a very wonderful good evening to all the educationists. We have over 300. I think that's the limit. But if,
Saiju sir, can you be a bit louder?
yeah, okay. Is it better, sir?
Yes, yes, yes. Thank you.
All right. Thank you for saying, communicating that. Thank you very much, Abdul Salam sir, Shibu sir, Mr. R, and then all the organizers from the BTAG side and the Bharat Sahodaya side. I would like to also thank Edubris team, Mr. Hemant, Mr. Dhanu, Mr. Vipin, who are great support, who support me on a day-to-day basis to understand, deepen our commitment to education and to help us research on on various aspects of education on a daily basis. I'd like to also thank the participants. I was seeing many of the names are familiar when I was seeing uh, the list of participants in the chat box. Many names are familiar. I remember some of your faces, as Abdul Salam sir said during the December meet at Bharat Sahodayas in Trivandrum. And also we had another session. So the faces are familiar, the names are familiar. And another very exciting part is out of this, there are many from Middle East, from Saudi Arabia, from I can see a lot from Dubai, Abu Dhabi, Sharjah, Ras Al Khaimah. So it's very nice to, it's like a wonderful get together of educationists. So before we started, I asked, before we start this, I had a short conversation with Dr. Abdul Salam where I was asking, it's a, analytics is a vast topic. Analysis data, when you say data analysis, is oceanic. And the whole, half the world is currently is behind this, so the chatbot which spoke just now, what do you call it, sir? Javier, huh?
Jarvis, just a rather very intelligent system.
Okay, Jarvis. Okay, so Jarvis actually is it an NLP, natural language processing system, right? NLP. Yeah. So they use large amount of pre-trained generative algorithms, which is pre-trained to speak, to communicate. So it's a age of data, and data science has got various depth. Here we have Mr. Dhanu, who's joined. He's actually studying data science and AI and ML as his masters in MTech. Then so it's a very big field. So I was wondering, how should we start? Will we be able to finish or do justice in this 1 hour? So what we realized is, let's go slow. Let's enjoy this whole process of understanding data analytics. And if required, we can even have a part 2 or a part 3 of it, either by me or it could be by anyone else. So that's the approach that we are going to take. And also there are a few, if I understand rightly, there are 1,000 more joining through YouTube and other, platforms which the organizers are providing. More than 1,000 people will be joining or have joined and will be joining and will be watching this in the future. So we can go slow and steady and try to understand this in a, I would say, in a incremental and in a granular manner. So before I start, I would like to share my screen. This is a story which I would like to. This is a fishing hamlet in Kerala. I'm not in Kerala now. I'm in near Bombay. But this is a story which won a national. I mean, it was 5 state award long back. Maybe when I was a small child. This story is, many of you might have seen this story. It's called Estapan. It is by Aravindan, who is a national award. He has won many awards. Aravindan has won many awards, national, international, Cannes Festival. You might have heard of many movies of Aravindan. Even Smita Patel acted in Chidambaram. There's a movie. So this is Estapan. Have you heard about this movie? How many of you have heard about this movie? Can you just put in the chat box? Or no? Okay. Yes. Miss Farsana Pravina said yes, and a few of there is this movie is very strange, because in this movie what happens is, nowhere in the movie we will get to know about Estepan or Estefan. It's actually an adaptation of an Eastern European book named Estefan. So nowhere in the movie we get to know about Estepan from Estepan. We are always hearing about him from either the villagers, the ladies, or the children, or the priest, or the the thieves. There are many people say different stories about him, and throughout the movie we get to know about Estepan from these narratives. So the movie is full of narratives, and some of these narratives are apparently very contradicting. Like, for example, the priest says that he's a very devoted person, but then the atheists say that he's not actually, he's actually acting, cheating. Then at some places the ladies say he's actually very nice, polite, and he doesn't intimidate them by his looks or by his action. The children say that he's very fun to play with. So, but there are all narratives. So have you experienced this sort of a narrative in your life? At least I have experienced in, like, when my child was in school, I used to hear a lot of narratives about him from yeah, I'm getting some chat. Yes. Yeah. So there were narratives about him, like, he's a good boy, but I don't know why till last year he was good, or, he likes to learn, but he has this difficulty. His interest in math is good, but then this is the problem. Lots and lots of narrative. So one thing that this is the case with even your own life. If you see, look at it, there'll be one narrative about you from your husband or wife, spouse. There'll be another narrative from, I have a good friend here who's attending this, who has 2 children. The elder child has one narrative about the father, and the younger child has another narrative about the father. So the question is, which is true? And so the whole idea of data analytics is to go one step beyond. And so there's an Estepan in here with us. So I realized that even I am an Estepan. I don't know about about my own qualities. So everybody is giving narrative. So how do we conclude? So from narrative to analytics, this is the whole idea. So I think it is Golding who said that in God we trust, but trust everybody bring data. So it's a very interesting quote. In God we trust, but lest everybody bring data. So yeah, so what I feel is now there is like we have moved 5 to 10 minutes into the discussion. Now I'm going to show you how analytics can actually change the way even we conduct this workshop. Like we had Javier speaking. So right now let's use some analytics tool to see which direction this particular webinar should go. So I'm going to those who are using their mobile phone, or you have your mobile phone nearby, they can actually do one thing. They can scan this particular image. You can scan this image and go to this QR code, or those who are in computer and they don't have their phone nearby, Dhanu, can you send them the link? Can you hear me?
Yes, I posted in the chat.
Yeah. So either you can take the link or you can use your mobile phone and scan this and go into the a sheet. But don't, please, I would like to tell you, please do not start the form. Don't start using it. Okay. Before that, I would also like to tell this particular, I was around 4 or 5 years back, I was looking at, the analytics requirements. So at that time, I think in 2019, we wrote an article. Like those who are, I would suggest some of you, if you can take this particular link in LinkedIn, you can see this. There's an article called Lines, Curves, and Chart. This is in LinkedIn. You can get it from my LinkedIn post, or you can go to entrepreneur.com. This is an article which I wrote in March 25th, 2019, many years back, 4 years back. The idea was lines, curves, and charts, the power of analytics in education. So if you're not getting this article in entrepreneur.search, you can just come to my LinkedIn and search for this. It is available. Okay, this article, at that time, those of you who are from the Middle East, KHDA and ADEC and Ministry of Education, they were all they were telling the school, prove using data. You have to prove using the data and analytics that your school, there is progress and attainment in every grade. So this was the task given by KHDA or ADEC or many ministries. So they wanted not narration, but data analytics based proof for the schools to be submitted to the Ministry of Education during the inspection time, how there is progress and attainment in every grade. And that was the same time, a lot of, educational system in Finland, Singapore, China, Shanghai, these are the places where this particular, so that time we wrote an article about how there's a famous movie called Moneyball. Moneyball, in that, it's a Brad Pitt starring movie. There is a very interesting thing of an IITN, an MITN. He has very limited budget. So he makes a baseball team with the minimum budget, which goes on to win the championship. The idea is, and Dr. Abdul Salam was also mentioning how teachers, I mentioned that about teachers are going to be like doctors. So if you see in the field of genomics, just as the permutations and combination of the AGCT, comprising DNA, are today recognized as the key to personalized healthcare, educationists are looking out for code of learning. The code of learning, that in that analytics is the key for personalizing education. So I understand there are a lot of discussion happening about personalizing education across the world. And the step before doing that is analytics. Now, we will come to the how we can progress in this particular meeting. So here we have shared with you certain a particular sheet. Yeah, here it is. Yeah, this sheet. Just so basically what we will be doing is we will be understanding what is your need for analytics, whether you're a principal or a school owner or teacher. Are you here to, your aim is to actually improve the make a report of the school for an inspection purpose or NEP or KHDA, ADAC, whatever that purpose, or is it for upskilling yourself as a teacher for the NPST, National Proficiency Standard for teachers? So to know that, then we can accordingly proceed. So we'll kindly fill this page 1. Just a name, your email ID, contact, place, whether you are from Abu Dhabi or from Saudi Arabia or from Qatar and the school. Once you do that, the next question is called like what you do in the entry. So I'm going to fill up mine, Saiju. So we'll get an analysis on.
Shaiju sir, can you show the QR code once again?
Okay. Yes, sir. Just scan this QR code. Can I continue, sir? Okay. So so I put my number. I'm right now, say Dubai, and I'm not from a school, so I'm from EduBrisk, so I put EduBrisk. I'm going to the next page. Next page. So now I am trying to understand the audience. See, my aim is that this particular presentation should be an analysis or analytics based intervention. Like I should not be just talking whatever I want to. I would like to know what you want to know. So you say like I'm an educationist. Okay, and on a scale of 1 to 10. So this is the entry level. So this is one thing which you also must be doing in your schools, because many of the regulatory bodies have asked you to have an entry level test for your students. Those students on grade 4 or grade 5, some of the students are going to grade 10. So as a school administrator or school team, you should know what is the entry level. So you may do entry level test or assessment for learning or AFL. That's how NEP 2020 talks about it. So AFL itself can be done at different levels. Okay, we will discuss that. So on a 1 to or a scale of 1 to 5, I rate my knowledge of analytics as under. So maybe I'll give myself 4 marks. Maybe I'll give myself 4 marks. Or on second, yeah, maybe I'll give 4 marks. And to move to the next level, that means now I want to move from 4 to 5, or let's say I want to move from 3 to 4. To move to the next level, I would like to understand the following. generally about analytics, or progress and attainment, cohort, cross cohort, triangulation. So these are the things that I might like to, or maybe substrand and strand level. This as a subject teacher, you may like to know strand level analysis or substrand level analysis, like say math substrands, or history substrands, geography substrands. But maybe as somebody who is making a report to the regulatory bodies, these are the, so whatever. So you select multiple points and go to next. Yeah, now the thing is understanding the purpose. Like we would like to know your purpose, say purpose, relevance of the topic for you. Why are you attending this session? Why are you attending this session? Sorry for this mistake here. Why are you attending this? To know more about NEP, to improve the school results, upgrade myself as an educationist, or maybe in my case, could be to know more about NEP, or tools for monitoring. That is, as school owners or school principals, you would like to, or HODs, you would like to tools for monitoring. You might want a dashboard where you can create a school level dashboard for all the children performance, so that the senior leadership team can monitor it, teachers can monitor it, and finally provide it to school, the parents, or it could be to the government, or it could be regulatory bodies. So select a few. Or if you are from say Sharjah, you might want it for regulatory bodies, Ministry of Education. So it's not added in this, but you can select this. Maybe your students are attending CAT4, PISA, TIMSS, ASSET, ACER test. So now you want to benchmark your students' performance in a particular school. Let's say your school is in Bangalore. Like I know some of the school owners, school leadership from Bangalore is attending this. So you might want next year or the next year, after the students may be taking PISA test or CAT4. So then you might want to benchmark, or any other purpose. If you're selecting, then you write here what do you want. Your note you add here. Okay. So are you with me? And then next. All right. So here we come to the very interesting part. So can I, Dhanu, can I get the analysis of the various participants that are here? You take your time. How much time do you want? 1 minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes?
1 minute. I will put, yeah, 1 minute.
Yeah. So Dhanu is going to take only 1 or 2 minutes, and he's going to give us which direction we want should go. This presentation should go. Interesting, right? So there is an interesting definition of analysis. So I'm in the meantime, when Dhanu is doing that, let me take it out and show you.
Mr. Saiju, can you increase your volume a bit more?
Yes, sir. Yes,
yes.
Okay, okay. I don't know why it should my microphone. Let me try to improve the quality of my microphone. Microphone array, audio settings, microphone. Is it better, sir, now? Is there a marked improvement in the...
Great, perfect.
All right. All right, great. Thank you. So let's take even NEP and analytics and say, so I would like to say a definition here. So here, if you look at learning analytics, is the measurement, or let me increase the screen size. Maybe this is the measurement, collection, analysis, and reporting of data about learners and their contexts for the purpose of understanding and optimizing learning and the environment in which it occurs. So learning analytics is the measurement, collection, analysis, and reporting of data about learners and their contexts. Like, for example, in this, we have 300 plus learners here, and they are from different, they have joined, they have different entry level, and their purpose is different, their role in the school is different. And so about the context for purposes of understanding and optimizing learning and the environment in which it occurs. So we have data, then we have analysis, and we have action. So the data is the basic asset, raw material to transform into analytical insights, and process to add intelligence to data using proven algorithm and methodologies. There's the second part. And then design ways and means of achieving the final goal of improving student performance. We are going to get into the details of these. But before that, if Danu can give us the analysis, we will wait. Or Danu, shall we take one?
In your slide 18 and 19.
Oh, he's ready with this, huh? Okay. So he's asking me to go to slide number 18 and 19. Wow. Done. So of the number of people who participated in this poll, many would like to, 67% wants analytics, the basics of understanding analytics. And 59% would like to know about progress and attainment. That is cohort, cross cohort, very small percentage, less substrand. So substrand level and strand level. So this, and then triangulation. So this is the different analysis. And if you see here, so Danu, is it possible to know the various profiles of various people?
Yeah.
Like the how many school, senior leadership, principals, teachers, etc.
92% teachers.
Sorry?
92% teachers.
All right, okay. And rest are? So here, 73% have joined because they want to upgrade myself as an educationist. Very nice. Very nice. And international benchmarking test, 17.5%. And tools for monitoring. Oh, very nice. So what we can do, there'll be an effort from our side to cover some of these areas. And some of you, since we have this information, if you would like more about it, we'll be sending you some of these materials to know more about international benchmark tests, and how your school can participate in it, and how to use that data to see the position of your school. So what, in the meantime, now let us go to the last page of the survey here. Yeah, this is that. There's page 4 of 4. Here is a nice picture of an aircraft. This aircraft was shot. These are the data from the aircraft that returned after the World War II. There is a lot of bullet shots on them. So what the data scientists did is they tried to study this aircraft. How many, where is it getting shot, and what's happening to this plane? So the question to you is, the fighter plane that returned from World War II has bullet marks on it in areas marked with red spots in the image above, these red spots. Now identify the areas to strengthen. So now you are the other planes did not return at all, okay? So these are the planes which returned from the war, successfully returned from the war. Now you are the engineer. Let's say you are the engineer. Now, you know, these are the places. Now, where do you want to increase the strengthen the plane to increase the chance of survival of these planes during the war? So you are an engineer, you would like to strengthen this plane. Where will you strengthen it? Areas given in white, areas given in this red spot, areas given in black, like the propeller and these areas, or all of the above. So that is the question. So if you have answered that question, we will go to the next question. Dhanu, can you let me know how many have answered this?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
Out of 300 people? Let's have some fun. Otherwise, this topic can be dry. So let's have some fun. Give your answer to this. All right. So can I take the next question? Dhanu, can I go to the next question?
Yes, sir. Yeah, you can.
Or wait?
Like 150 have already answered.
Wow. Oh, very nice. Very nice. So now we go to the next question. This is a question. This is Raju's performance swing in grades. That means Raju had this much percentage in grade 6, this in grade 7, grade 8, and grade 9, and grade 10. Okay. The graph given above shows Raju's performance in grade 7, 8, 9. Okay. 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. One more. Please choose the right conclusion from the question below. Raju's performance has dash in grade 9. Dipped, improved, steady, unsure. Raju's performance has dash in grade 9. Dipped, okay. All right. So, okay. Now, I'm sure most of you would have answered. I heard that there are 140, 150 people. That's a good number who are participating in this poll. But now I would like to say that there is some data. To get data is one thing, and to get to the right conclusion is totally another thing. So I'm going to show how these two graphs, that is, now I'll take the so this is a course on analytics which is given for the teachers by us. So I'm just taking so can you tell Dhanu what is the poll answer to this question?
Yes, sir. 66% said dip. 19%
No. Regarding this one, this plane survivorship bias.
So yeah, I've also updated in slide number 20. 41% said all of the above. 38% said areas marked with red spots. 18% with white color, and 7% said marked with black color.
All right. So look at it very carefully. So areas in white color should be strengthened only 18.13. Areas in marked with red spots is the maximum. Naturally, that's the answer. But can I ask why did some of you say areas marked in white color? Because the bullets are all shot in the other red spots, no? So why would you give that answer? Actually, you're right. Your answer is right. It's in white color. This is called counterintuitive analysis. When you analyze, you'll get to know that those planes which are returned from the World War, they got shot at those points, but those points, even if you get shoot it, nothing happens to the plane because there is no major machinery in it. That is why the plane has come back. But all those planes which did not come back are the one which were shot at the white place. So that's why the data you have is only for the planes which has come back. So the answer is the white and other areas are to be strengthened, not the red part. Red part is not very important. Wherever the bullets are hit, nothing happened to the plane even after the bullets got hit. So now you understood two things. I guess you understand two things. One is data is one thing, analysis is another thing. So I'll give the same example of Raju. Can you, Dhanu, where do we stand as far as Raju is concerned? Yeah. 66.47% said that Raju is dipped, performance is dipped. Of course, it has not improved. So this 19.16 is not right, and steady, it's not steady. Unsure is it's the right answer actually in this, because that one data is not sufficient to tell anything about Raju. I'll tell you why. I'm going to show some more data. So this grade 9, see if you see, oh, sorry. Wait a minute. Yeah, here it is, yeah. So if you look at Raju's performance on grade 6, 7, 8, 9, it looks like Raju's performance has dipped. It's very bad, it's very poor. But if you take the other students along with that, many other students, so here Rahul, Shruti, Vivek, Shyam, you can see all of them, their performance has dipped. Now let us take Raju. Raju is in this color. Raju's performance dip is the lowest compared to all other students in the class. And this could be because in grade 9, the teachers decided that we are going to tighten the marking scheme. Before they come to 10th, these children should be taught a lesson. They should be told that grade 10 is very difficult. So we want to tighten the screw. So you all tightened, or it could be because in grade 9, CBSE is introducing a lot more topics, heavier portions, polynomials and many other abstract topics, etc. So the students, so the class average might have dipped by 5%, and Raju's the performance dip is only 2%. Which means actually Raju's performance is much better. And let's say then there is something called cross-cohort analysis. Cross-cohort analysis is when you compare this year Raju's performance in grade 9, it has dipped. But the last year and the previous year, Raju, the students' performance had dipped by 8% in 9th. But in this year, the students' performance has dipped only by 5%, which means this particular batch is a very strong batch. So I hope you understand the differences. Data cannot tell you the truth. You have to analyze it. So simply, if you look at the attainment, you will say, oh, students have performance is compared to last year. This is, compared to the previous grade 8, Raju's performance is less. But when you compare to previous grade 8 and the grade 9 and the year before that, cross-cohort analysis, you will get to know that this batch is an awesome batch and Raju is doing really well. So now, I think I have set the premise for getting into the topic. How do we analyze whether we are, so analysis, when we come back to the definition, are we in the right track? as a school, as a class, as a teacher, what is the current status of my class? What direction is it in? Is it going? Is it in the right direction? What are the parameters? What are the things that I can change to alter that course to go to the right direction? Analysis is going to be the major tool. I think all schools are going to work up in the years to come, say in the next 1 or 2 years, the concept of getting granular level data. Now, I want to give explain a term called granular data and aggregate data. Granular data is, now you know Raju, which year did he join? What all the subjects that he has taken, and how is the performance of Raju in each of these subjects. And not only that, what could be at entry level, what was the thing in the math substrand? Was it in geometry? Geometry, Raju is really good. Or in operations of numbers, he's good. But polynomials is having a problem. Or in chance math, or like probability, or in statistics, he has a problem. So substrand. So our success as a school is in capturing granular data of the students. Now, please note this. Please, when different people will come and talk, they will talk about various jargons like cohort, cross cohort, in time analysis. They will talk about triangulation. Yeah, it's all, I mean, I'm not minimizing it. It's all very important type of analysis. But if we know the underlying principle, why are we doing what we are doing, then things will be easy. So we will try to understand the underlying principle in the next 10 to 15 minutes. And why are we doing what we are doing? All these things. Second part. So let me take you through some of these. And most importantly, how, if we have the granular data with us, we can play around with data so much that we can churn it. So in, like, milk, or let's say curd you get, and then you keep churning it, butter comes out of it, right? So data is like that. You get the right, clean, granular data, as much clean as possible from the honest. So as schools, one thing which you should focus is these data, try to get it as clean as possible. Educate the teachers how they can generate clean data at multiple stages. And then this data is like the curd or yogurt or whatever. And then you start churning them, butter will come out of it. And, very clarified, very, very clean, beautiful butter emerges from it, and which you can, consume. So this is, the secret is in getting granular data. So I'll show you here some data which you can get. So let's say there are some terms and terminologies which I'll progress and attainment. So here is an interesting picture. Okay. Yeah, here. So before I come to that, let me explain. There was a school which the student was one of the national toppers. I kind of visited the school in 2017 or 2018 as a DR. I was invited there. So the school was all celebration and all were going on. And I asked the senior leadership team, the principal or vice principal of the school came and told me, sir, you know something? our school our student got the national topper this year, or the first 5, or I think national topper only. So I, in a very friendly manner, asked that educationist, is it our credit? I'm pausing it intentionally. Just we touch your heart as an educationist and type in there. Is that, can we say it is our credit that the student, sir, you're able to see me?
You're stuck, sir.
Yeah, mine is stuck. I don't know what happened. Just give me a minute. I think I might have to rejoin.
So please don't leave. You cannot rejoin. The room is full.
So
Okay, I'm so sorry about this. I am in a far place. Hello.
We can hear you, sir.
Yeah, but my thing is stuck here. That video is stuck, and just give me 1 minute,
Yes.
please.
Yes.
Okay, I think I'll just speak because I'm stuck. Shall I just speak, sir?
Yes, sir. If you please see whether you can, your screen is okay. I mean, presentation.
Can you remove me from the this thing so that Dhanu can share the screen?
I'll be still be
Can
able
you-
to share the screen, so I'm the host.
Yeah.
Sorry?
Then we can share the screen.
So can you stop my screen sharing?
It's already stopped, sir.
It is already stopped.
Okay, so then I'm going to just speak. I'm really sorry about this, but the first thing is, so we cannot if we get 1 or 2 students who are high achievers, rank holders, it doesn't really speak very. I mean, we cannot say conclusively that it is to the school's credit. But what we can show is that if there is progress in the students, performance swing, or if there is attainment, that is 70% of the students are above 80%, and kind of statistically you can show that there is progress, performance swing with respect to previous year, with respect to the year before that, not only in the internal assessment but also in the benchmark tests, and also that is the progress part and the attainment. Then we can say, and this progress and attainment will be what? Across the learning spectrum. So actually in NEP talks about it, that one of the major application of data analytics is in inclusive education. That you can ensure that the low end of the spectrum of learners, the high end of spectrum of learners, the middle, all of them are actually progressing. So I wanted to show you how granular informations can be captured using certain tools, and then how that granular data can be used to do a kind of a mapping called in-time mapping or in-time analysis. In-time analysis, what we get is, so what should we do, Abdul Salam sir? I'm not able to share anything.
Can Dhanu share the screen? Does he
Dhanu,
have the stuff?
Dhanu, can you go to in-time analysis?
Sure. I'm sharing my screen.
So I can't even see what Danu is sharing, but I know he'll be sharing the right thing. Yeah. So in the analytics, Danu,
Yeah, I'm opening that.
offline analysis, you can take the in-time analysis. When you have taken it, you tell me.
I've shared my screen. I hope my screen is visible.
When it is ready, you please let me know.
It's shared, sir.
So you in time analysis, let us say a teacher or a class teacher, and this is very much relevant for those schools which are in Middle East, especially in UAE, they're going to face the inspection there. So the first part of in-time analysis is, as you are taking a subject. Yeah, actually Hemanda sent me a WhatsApp. Let's say in my class, student 1, if you see, there are 2 in-term analysis. So you can see that a student 1, they got
He has lost his volume also, I think. Audio.
He is not there in the meeting. I think he lost.
He has left. I think let him come back.
Okay. Okay.
So meanwhile, you can explain this.
Sure. Sure. So continuing what Mr. Saiju would have explained is, so in-time analysis is specifically to map whether the curriculum is intact or the assessment strategy which the school is adopting is intact. Now, how do you ensure that that is intact or is as per the requirement of the curriculum standards or the one international benchmarking as per the NEP is going to the PISA exam, which is going to be done, and SAFL is one exam which again it's trying to map. Now, how do you understand that whether all our strategies which is being followed by the school is appropriate or as per the requirement of the curriculum standards or the regulatory standards? So with that respect, the government of India, according to NEP, they have brought about the SAFL examination to ensure that most of the schools to map the in-time analysis, additional 2 level of examination apart from the internal exam would be conducted. Giving there are a lot of international exams. Giving one typical example would be CAT4, which is a skill-based analysis which is done. Asset is a diagnostic level test or the ACER exam or SAFL exam or the PISA exam or any international benchmarking analysis can be triangulated to compare the internal assessment. For example, in this example which is I'm showing on my screen, whenever Mr. Saiju has joined, can stop me. Yeah. So in this analysis, specifically, I'm showing a math example where the math analysis is compared to the quantitative analysis of the CAT4 examination and the internal examination is compared over here. And the problem here, which you will see, is that the internal exam is actually, below the standards. You will see that, and there are multiple reasons which can happen. One is it comes below, and one it comes above the international benchmarking. If it is above the international benchmarking exam, it means that the curriculum standards followed by the school is much lower than the expected standards. And if it is below the international benchmarking standard, it means that the school has a certain level of standards compared to the international benchmarking. So to validate whatever is being. I'm sorry. So you were saying something?
Please
Yes.
continue. Please
Yeah.
continue.
So this is, one typical data analytics methodology where in-time analysis is being done in the schooling scenario to validate. So all the exams which is being mandated by SAFL, the pilot project has already started, and there are pilot schools which is being done. And the PISA examination, other international exams would be used to validate our standards and understanding whether rather than the survivorship bias plane where we really don't know. We always look at the ones which has survived and not looked at the ones did not survive. So specifically, we'll be looking into that aspect. Comparing the analysis, multiple level to validate the assessment strategies, the curriculum. One would be the cross cohort. The other would be the cohort analysis. Then the triangulation would be done, and student performance would be one other aspect of that of understanding this curriculum standard. Cross cohort would be to measure if the attainment and the progress is in line in specifically comparing for or at least 3 years of the data, whether a standard, if a student is meeting the expected category or exceeding category or emerging category. So usually standards can be set profiling a student based on the category of whether they fall within an expected category or they are coming up to the exceeding category. And progress intentionally means if when a cohort moves from one grade to another, whether the expected categories are making substantial progress. For example, you will see that there is a dip in the exceeding category to 26% in as the year. When one grade it goes to the other year, there is an increase in 1%. When from 52% to 59%, there is a progress. So this is how progress and attainment would be measured using this. So yeah, sorry, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. So thank you so much for filling that gap. Yeah. So you are able to see me, I guess.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay,
Yes.
very good. Very good. Okay. So yeah. So Dhanu, can you continue sharing the screen?
Yeah, sure.
Okay. So now, did you discuss the cross cohort and cohort also?
Only just started the cross cohort.
Yeah. So cohort analysis, have you shown?
No.
Okay. So now cross cohort analysis kind of helps us know many things. How the teaching is with this year compared to previous year. How the student performance are. Did you change your course? Say your grade 10 students, say 70% of them were between 80 to 90. Could you increase it to 75% this year, middle achievers or high achievers? The high achievers were, say 15 students or say 15% or 20% last year. This year, did it move to 21%, 22%, or did it come down to 19? All these things help us know whether we are, as a school, whether we are going in the right direction. Now let us take the cohort analysis. Yeah, this is let's say this is a cohort. So if you see, can you come a little down, Dhanu? Yeah, little down.
Sorry, just taking it.
Come to the bottom of the page. No, yeah, that's it. So if you see, this is a cohort analysis where I and my entire class is, 1 minute, I'm trying to. Yeah. So the performance of my students
this year with respect to the same students of previous year and the same students previous year. That is, let's say 2020-21, you're following a particular student, Raju. That's a typical example of a cohort analysis. Raju in 2020-21, this was it, 21-22, and now 22-23 and 23-24 academic year. How is it happening? And not just Raju, the whole cohort in the class, one group, that is the 2012 or 2014 KG batch. Now they have moved up in last 9 years and they have come to grade 9. So now that batch, how are they performing? That is a cross-cohort analysis. Now these three in-time analysis will give us our internal standards with respect to other benchmark tests and the triangulation part. Then the cross-cohort and the cohort analysis will again let us know how the group as a student group is progressing, and then the cross-cohort analysis will tell us the performance of the school as of a grade, and then the school as a whole. Okay, so the whole idea I think got. Then can you come back to Shelf?
Sure, sir.
Can you reduce the yeah, so that I can back to Shelf. Now, sir, Abdul Salam sir, I think we will take one more topic and then quick have the question answer session, because there are now the topic is going to become even more heavy. So let us take one simple topic. That there is also analytics which we can do on the teacher, or how you as a teacher is performing in a particular. So that is the teaching analysis. So can you take that example, Danu, the teaching analysis? I can't see anything. Yeah. So come down. So here you might want to improve your performance as a teacher in three phases. First one is the planning and the documentation part, the preparation part, the lesson planning part, then how you would like to have, whether you have the profile of all the students in the class, whether you have brought in differentiation in your teaching in the class. So all those things are the preparation part. I have 5 AGT students. Do I have some differentiated worksheet in my lesson planning to give to those students? So this all comes on the first part, planning. Then comes the teaching and the class dynamics part. How effectively are you communicating, whether there is interaction with the students, are the students active during the class, where they're given some active activities by which they can live. Did you use the tool teaching aids, tools, resources properly? That comes the teaching dynamics part. Then the part is the learning outcome part. Did it produce the right kind of learning outcome in students? Did they almost some? The success criteria of your class is achieved? Now, based on this, what you lacked? So there can be peer evaluation by other teachers, there can be evaluation by HODs or the principal or an external body to audit and see where is that improvement. So if you go up, can you go up in this, Danu? Yeah, so here in the top 1 or 2 areas, these are the areas where this particular teacher requires. The rest of the areas which are in yellow, green, and purple are areas where the teacher is doing well. So for the time's sake, can you stop sharing, Danu?
Okay, sir.
Okay, now to sum it up, because and also I'd like to take some questions. So to sum it up, all regulators and all bodies which are actively working on in the field of improving education, like the National Educational Policy, all the bodies under National Educational Policy which are working on improving the quality of teaching and learning, especially the learning outcome. There are an assessment part. They all are going to depend on clean data and data analytics to see whether in a school there is progress and attainment. And all these starts with granular teacher level data generation. The most granular one is subject-wise entry assessment for learning, assessment as or in learning, and assessment of learning. So these assessments that could be chapter level, term level, it could be the whole entry level for the whole academic year or chapter level. These granular data from the school, internal exams, external exams, board exams, other benchmark tests which I mentioned, all these data are going to be the most valuable asset of a school to decide where we are at this point of time and which direction we want to go. Okay, so I will stop here. Now I'll take a few questions. So I'm seeing certain questions here. Sir, can we get clarification assessment for learning, in learning and off learning? Very good. So Dhanu, can you share the screen and get the NEP, take your time. You first take it and then share the screen. Assessment of learning, for learning. There's a map.
Yeah.
So teachers, educationists who would like to know more about it, we will share you the Edibrisk link on this. It's a very good question. This question was asked by Miss Rashmi Kaul. Yeah. Where are you from, ma'am? Where are you? From where are you attending this session at this point of time? Okay. And there's another question by Miss Shailaja Raghunath. Is cross-cohort analysis for teachers and cohort for no? Both cross-cohort analysis and cohort analysis are for students. Okay, so I answered that question. Thanu, once you are ready with AOL, NOL, AFL, I'll explain. So assessment for learning is assessment for learning is primarily the entry level or prerequisite knowledge to teach a topic. That is, I'm just giving an example. If you are a grade 12 math teacher who is trying to teach maxima and minima, you will see that the students, unless if they know limits and functions of 11th, they may not be able to even understand maxima and minima. So it's assessment for learning. I'll give you another example of assessment for learning. You're going to teach French Revolution in grade 9 history, but you spoke for 5 days on French Revolution. Oh, French Revolution is happening in the 18th century and 19th century. The student is thinking 18th century, 100 to 1900. But if you do an assessment for learning, you will know that many of the students in the class do not even understand 1800 has got no 18 in it. It is 1700 to 1799. You get the point what I'm saying? Assessment for learning. Or you are teaching the same chapter and you're going to teach about anarchy and polyarchy and things like that. But your students do not have any idea about these words. Then you might take an assessment for learning and see whether they know 18th century is in 1700 to 1799, whether they know the word monarchy and polyarchy is one king and many kings, or oligarchy, a few kings. This is an example. Or another example, or if you're teaching heredity and genetics in grade 10, but the cell biology is not clear for a student, chromosomes and the genes and things like that, then you'll not be able to teach them. Or you're teaching chemistry, balancing of equations, but the child has confusion with the HCF and LCM. Sometimes to balance an equation, you have to use these. Or let's say you're teaching physics, Ohm's law, and the child has studied direct proportionality in grade 7, and he doesn't or she doesn't know that. or you're teaching focal 1 by f is equal to 1 by f1 plus 1 by f2 focal length, and you have to find f1. So you have to have transposing of fractions and finding the LCM and operations of fractions, and your child is, these are all under the category of assessment for learning. Did I explain that properly, ma'am? Yes. So, okay, it's from Kothari International School, Noida. Okay. Great, great. So now any other questions? So that is assessment for learning. So now here, how can data analytics views be chapter-wise learning? Can as a teacher understand whether the student understood? Oh, very nice, very nice. So Mr. Barnali Chakravarti, can you just tell me what subject do you teach, sir or ma'am? I don't know. I do not know. First, please let me know you are a lady teacher, or can you, so that I can address you properly. And the second part is what tell me a subject which you're teaching, sir, ma'am. Okay, Varnali ma'am, thank you. Yeah, tell me the subject which you're teaching and grade. Psychology, and grade 11 and 12. Okay, so Dhanu here is a teacher. So I don't can you take the EduBridge platform, Dhanu? Share the.
Okay.
Yeah.
Any specific grade? Or?
Yeah, you can take grade 11. See, psychology is there, or you can take grade 10 and take a humanities subject, maybe history.
Okay.
Whichever way. So here is we're going to understand this. So now I'm going to teach a chapter. So normally what happens, no? When we teach, we do something called, we teach for 4 or 5 days, and then we understand X number of students have not understood it. And then you do, during an assessment in learning or as learning, and then what you do, to do some remedial programs for them at the end of the class, etc. But here is a case. Then can you increase the size? I'm not able to see it. Okay, let us take a chapter, nationalism in India. Nationalism in India. All right. So now you want to do assessment for learning. Here, we want to know whether a child, so take the prepare phase and do a diagnostic test. So see here, in a few minutes time, please take, no? Yes. So here in, say, roughly about 6 minutes to 7 minutes time, you can get to know the assessment for learning. So can you select some answers in this, Dhanu? So Gandhiji started the historic, yeah. What did Congress declare to fight for in 1929? Make some mistakes, no? What is the right answer? Purna Swaraj, right? So civil rights. The next one, which act was passed in 1919? I think it is Rowlatt Act, but make a mistake. Macaulay's, okay. Then where did the national movement appear to be a mass movement? When did okay. So maybe what is the right answer? I don't know. Maybe 1919 or 1927. I don't know. Okay. So submit the test. Just a few more. Okay. Submit the test. Yeah, 1919. Okay. Wait. Did you submit the test? Cancel it. Okay. Let's take 1919. And next, teachers, you can answer. The people of India were inspired by the Russian Revolution of 1917. True or false? Okay, just take an answer. True. Next. False. It is false. Okay, we took true. Okay. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre. Okay. The Jallianwala Bagh massacre happened in 1918. True or false? Meena, it's 19. True. Okay, true. Let's select true. Okay, submit. Can you just submit the test? So ma'am, here is an assessment for learning. You get immediately 2 out of 6. Okay. So come to the analysis. So let's say in your class, there are 30 students. You can do there is a Bloom's taxonomy also there. So you can have an analysis of the Bloom's taxonomy, whether it's remembering, understanding, application, what's the issue. And here, take the first question itself is wrong. So let's take the assessment. So this is a granular assessment. Say question number 6, we went wrong. Can you take that? It is actually, the answer is true. The answer is it's in 1919. Yeah. It's not 1918. So we selected true. So let's say question number 3. Here it is Rowlett Act. So now this is the good example of a assessment for learning. Did I answer my question? This thing. Do you want anything more about assessment for learning now? Now, assessment of learning is something which you can do at the end of the chapter. So can you show an example of assessment of learning? Say the same chapter when you go back, or let's say take another chapter from any other subject. So you want competency-based questions, whatever. Here is a chemistry. So let's say you taught the whole chapter, then take the test. See, learning competence quiz. This is an assessment of learning. That means I have taught the chapter. Now I want to know whether the success criteria has been met. I have 30 students in my class, and I want it immediately. I want to do the corrective action on the last day of my class. So there are 7. Let's say I took 7 classes to complete chemical reaction and equations. And at the end of the 6th class, I finished it in the 6th class. I'm going to the 7th class where I want to know what is the corrective action I should do, just like we did the analysis. Here is the assessment for learning at 3, assessment of learning at 3 levels. One for the all, and some for most students, and some for some students. That is the learning level 3. So this is an example of assessment. Due to paucity of time, I will not take it up, but then this is an example of that. Any other questions?
There is a question from Miss Ahana. She's
Okay.
handling in primary class as communicative English teacher. How this, analytics help her? What all methodology she can introduce?
In English, sir?
English, communicative.
Oh, very good. Okay. So I'll answer that question. So and I'll also read some other questions, which says that practically in a class of 30 students, where students do not have electronic devices, conducting assessment for learning will take 1 period. The test has to be pen and paper test. Then the teacher has to check. Yeah, I agree, sir. Mr. Yogesh Kumar, and then Mandan. So I'll explain to you, sir, this how we can do. Is there a simpler solution? Yes, there are. They're very interesting. Okay. So, okay. Now, Dhanu, can you take the English track?
Sure.
Thank God Dhanu was there for this particular presentation. And so, thank you, Ms. Bindu. So can you share the screen and take English seniors, let's say grade 8 to, yeah. So let's say as an English teacher, let's say you find that 20% of the students in the class are having serious issue with prepositions. They are not able to, they are making a lot of mistakes with preposition of time and places and things like that. So here, grammar, preposition. Now I have to teach preposition of time. And can you click on the content? Yeah, so prepositions, prepositions in tabular form, commonly confused prepositions, common errors. These are the things. But you as a teacher want to know whether this class is ready, even they have the basic understanding, because this is a grade 8 or a grade 9 student. Do they have, so let's take a prepare phase, go to prepare phase and take a diagnostic test. So all diagnostic tests are assessment for learning. So say in a period of, so this answers the question, sir, who asked, in a class of 30 students, how do we do it? So if you really look at it, each diagnostic test is typically 5 to 10 minutes. And these diagnostic tests for a whole group of subjects, for a whole month, there may be 5 or 6 chapters in a month. So 6 into 10 is 60 minutes. So actually, you should be able to take students to the computer room. Assessment for learning should be done in the computer room. In a month, a group of students have to spend only 45 minutes in the computer room in a month. Or alternately, you can have something called assessment for learning day, where different batches come to the computer room from morning, say 9 to evening 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock for 2 days, and whole assessment for learning for a whole term can be done in 2 days time. Did I answer my question, sir? So here, now let us take the start test. So for the English teacher who said, so this is just a 5 minutes test. You see the question, he called me at 4:30 p.m. That's the answer. So that's next. You must abide by the law. So let's say some child may not know the meaning abide or may not know the word. So he said, you must abide in the law. Let's take in the law, or for to the law. Let's take to the law. You must abide to the law. It's by the law, but let's take. Next. The policeman was accused of accepting bribe. So let's say a student broke 4 for accepting bribe. So now you should know how analytics works. You are not just getting 1 student. You will get, in my class of 30 students, 8 students think that policeman was accused for accepting the policeman accused of, no, okay, or for accepting, I don't know. So let us skip it. In this case, please skip this question. I think it is off. I don't have access to internet in my house. That everybody will know. Yeah, may know. Then next. Let's walk dash in this bridge while we talk. Let's walk on or through or across. Across this bridge is right. Let's say on this bridge. Let's make a mistake and see. Next. And submit the test. Just submit it. So here you get the analysis. So I got 2 out of 10. So I attempted only 4. Rest I skipped. 6 I skipped. 2 were correct and 2 wrong. Just take the test analyzer. Now, see, the first one is correct. Second one is wrong. Abide by the law. Yeah, just take that. So now I know in my class, 18 students they wrote it is abide to the law and by. So here you read the solution part. Yeah. So this is how in English also it is possible. Now there are detailed analysis in English, whether a child is having dyslexia or is it having a spelling problem, whether the child is having a problem with metaphor, literary devices, metaphor and simile, is it problem? There are even techniques where which you can teach certain things in English through geography or history, cross-curricular ways. Use the strength of the child. If analysis shows that Anubhuti, the girl Anubhuti is very good in history and geography, and she has a problem with English, but then you can actually use her knowledge in history and geography to actually improve her knowledge in English. And that is possible when you have data on analytics. Thank you. Any other question? So actually, I have, to be honest with you, I have only covered, say, 40%, 30% level. We'll require one more level to get it to 60%, where we can go into granular data collection and aggregate analysis and analytics. Then we will get to know how our class is behaving, our teachers' efficiency in a particular class, and how, as a teacher, you can change your intervention plans for a better performance, etc. I know I'm excited that we are all able to discuss this, and it's the age of analytics, and I hope we can all use this tool. So I always give this particular example before you leave. See, I was a scientist in DRDO, and I used to study this something called turbulence. Turbulence, they say, is the most unsolved problem in classical physics. It's very difficult to study turbulence. There's a joke by, I think, Galileo or so, which says that the stars and moons